she says something, you're going to take that in consideration because you've examined them. You respect their position. So everybody that you're not listening to doesn't mean you have pride, but it's always that one person that knows you or that second person that knows you that's giving you some advice. And if you can't listen to that, then that's pride. But Black men need a heavy dose of power or learning how to take power and achieve power. And it starts from the ground up. Like our school, we have, if I come into my school, I came in as what we call a young man. So I'm on my way to get power. Then you become a trooper. Then you at another level, get power. Then you become an officer of 50. You at another level of getting power. Then you raise up in ranks. And as you raise up in ranks, you're learning how to achieve power. And so that same concept can be in a man in his house. A man may not know how to rule his house because he's never seen it. Like we don't even know how to be parents. We don't know how to lead. We learn it on the fly. Like there is no blueprint in a Black household today. You can establish it, but to establish it, you have to learn. So once you learn that, once you develop the skill set, you can become dominant, but you should be that before you get a woman because you can't leave that woman once you get her. You gotta stay with that woman.
The Christian nationalist, is that of God?
Yeah.
What is
Christian
that?
That's of Satan right there. Okay. Listen, Donald Trump be applauding his pastors, and all his pastors is getting arrested for child molestation. All of them. And anybody just look it up, you'll see all of the MAGA pastors getting arrested for molestation. You'll see the robbery of the church when Eddie Long said, close the doors. I said, close the doors. He ain't letting you outside.
Streetwear state of mind.
His money. The fact that the church is about prosperity is the opposite of Christ. If you're going to say you're about Christ, remember when the rich man came to Christ, Christ said, sell all you have and follow me.
Yeah,
that rich man said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just keep doing this over here. But the church pushes prosperity. And the Bible said that a person that pushes prosperity is destitute in his mind.
So
perverse, actually, in his mind.
So should a leader, a pastor, a leader, should they not have wealth?
Absolutely, they should. The Bible say wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. Okay. So we not about not making money. I mean, you have to, listen, the more money you can make, the better. It's what you do and how you go about getting the money. That's the issue I have. So the issue with the church is they'll tell you God's laws are done away with, but pay that 10%, pay this tithe, whatever that $2,000 that the Winans brother is collecting. I guarantee you the seed that they plant, I guarantee it's not for the people, it's for him.
Yes.
They feed themselves. You give that money to us, it's gonna feed us.
Since you spoke on the Winan situation, $2,000, of course, that was the going rate of what they wanted people to tithe or pledge or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Someone comes up, says, hey, I got $1,200. Actually, I got $1,000 plus $200 for my son.
Right.
It comes to $1,200. We just want to give this. And for the church not to accept that, or for the deacon, the pastor, the bishop to not accept that and say, no, we said 2,000.
Right.
Meaning that, I don't know if he was talking to her or to everyone else. About to come, whoever else about to come up next.
You better have that 2,000.
Yeah, like we here for a certain reason.
Right.
Tell us your thought process on the vessel of that message.
Well, first I want to say that's extortion. That's the first thing I want to say. That's extortion and the pride and the mind control that the pastors know. That's what I knew. I knew how much mind control the pastors have over the church. Because when he said, I didn't ask for that, without hesitation, she said, well, I'm going to try harder. Because what the church knows is that public perception is everything to everybody. You notice how we always want to make sure we have the flashiest car. We want to have the biggest hat, the best jewelry, the best clothes, the best watch, the best everything. And not just for us, but for everybody to see. So the pastor knows that. That's why the pastor knows he can't come in there dressed like how we dress. he got to come in there dressed looking the part of a rich man. Because as he's looking there, the church people want to feel like they're following a rich man so that they can get rich. And they believe if I give this money, I'll get rich. And what the pastor knows, if I ask for 2,000 and you come with this 12, the reason why he can check her and say, I didn't ask for that, is because he know that everybody is going to support him because nobody wants to be embarrassed, including her. Even though she didn't have the other 8, even though she gave her 100,000, grandson gives the $200, giving all that they had, because she didn't want to be embarrassed, she said, I'll try harder. And that's even more extortion and manipulation. And that's what every pastor knows about the church.
Do you not think it's setting a precedent if they have like a goal they're trying to reach and they want people to come up and give 2,000 a piece, and those y'all come up to give this, somebody coming up giving less than, he's like, I have to set a precedent that this is not what we're doing, because the next man might give 800. The next man might give 400. Now we're losing
the hustle. I remember when I was a kid, I went to this church, Cathedral Faith Baptist Church, and the pastor that was over the church, he had a board. On the board, let's say if the goal, I can't remember the exact goal, but let's say the goal was $1,500, right? He would have Brother Kennedy, Brother Smith, he would have everybody's name lined up on that chart, and he would color in. So that if the goal is down here and your name starts here, as you gave money, he would color in your progress. And so everybody that would come to church, they would see your progress. And so if your shit wasn't colored in, everybody would know you're not giving money. Ooh. So you giving money just so it's colored in progress. The pastors know how to hustle. So when you say he got to set a precedence, you're right. Because now the show off is to show you got money. It's damn near like buying the bottles at the club.
Yeah.
When you buying the bottles at the club, what you get? You get the bottle ladies coming. Yeah. Everybody see the bottle ladies coming, the sparks is going, and now all the attention is on you. So the pastor know if I set this $2,000, you want to flex, you're going to flex by giving him the $2,000. So he's taking advantage of your desire to flex too. And that's how they manipulate. It's all the hustle. That's why it's extortion. And then when you go home, you feel empty.
Come on.
Because now you done gave, after you done bought the bottle ladies and you go home and that bill got to get paid, you go like, damn, I shouldn't have bought the bottle ladies. After you give that $2,000 to that pastor and you come home and that bill got to get paid, you feel bad because you know you can't even go to the pastor and say, hey, my gas bill about to
I need that back.
Yeah.
What do you say to the person that was like, I gave $500 to the church and then I left and I got a check in the mail for $3,500.
What's the $3,500 for?
Who knows? They probably got.
I'm gonna tell you, I watched this movie called Leap of Faith, and after I watched that movie, I never believed them stories.
Okay.
It's hard for me to believe. Now, let's say it could have been something that they were supposed to get anyway, and it just happened to come at that time. More than likely, that's what it is. Yeah. A check they were supposed to get, they've been waiting on the check. It'd be crazy. They've been waiting on the check 6 months, and now that they done gave this $500 and it finally came, they think it's the Lord. It ain't the Lord. They just finally sent the check.
But who knows? But you know,
the Lord put that time in there. He don't come with that time.
He may not come when you call,
right?
But he always
come on.
Just always remember the Lord ain't gonna be about your money.
For sure.
Just like you know how when a woman say, "My intuition let me know you was cheating," but a woman's intuition never lets you know when your man was in pain, when your man wanted a meal, when your man needed this, or your man needed some sex. Your intuition ain't never kicking on that. Only when he's cheating. That's how they treat their type of blessing. They don't look at when the Lord punishing them for their evil. They don't look at when the Lord punishing them for their breaking his commandments. They don't look at that as a message. They don't do that.
All right, I'm still circling around the Druski skit.
Right.
You stated that, of course, you got your hierarchy went up in the teachings of course, the Hebrew Israelites, and you see Druski on the police pull up.
Right.
Everyone's arrested. He's the main one. The followers are going to stay there with him until he says, hey, this is what we're doing. Is it that type of devotion that if you were arrested, those under you will be like, shit, we arrested too, and we ain't moving? If you say, hey, we ain't moving, this is what we own, would they be like, this is what we own too? And is that what you expect of them?
No, I don't expect that. So if a cop comes, depending on the situation, you would just follow whatever is within the law. Like, we are law-abiding citizens. We're not going to break the law. So if a cop comes and he's like, we'll usually have our paperwork. So we at the camp speaking, we have our permit to be able to speak. The permit is only for the sound. Our First Amendment right, you have the right to assembly, you have the right to free speech. So we'll just follow the rules. Let's say if it gets hectic and a brother gets arrested, that brother may get arrested, and then we'll just go down to the precinct and then just see, what the issue is. I remember one time when I was in Times Square, this cop comes and he was like, we ain't supposed to be here. I said, well, I talked to Officer Spano. He said we could be here. They took my license. They want, can you give us your ID? I give them the ID. They had my license so long. I remember my general came up to me and was like, you sure you ain't got no warrants? I didn't have no warrants. He come back, give it, and then just step off. There's a way to deal with the police where you don't have to get arrested. But when you're overly aggressive or unseasoned or undisciplined, like we have a slogan in our school, we are trained professionals. Do not try this at home because it's a serious game. So you can have unlearned individuals go out there, don't know how to talk to the police, and then get themselves arrested. Most times for us, when we go out there and deal with the police, there is no issue of arrest. We just communicate with them and keep it moving.
Why do you even recognize the white man's law?
Well, the Bible says you got to recognize the law, as long as it don't conflict with the Bible. As long as it don't conflict with God's laws, there's nothing wrong with not speeding. There's nothing wrong with obeying the laws of the land. That's not a big deal.
All right. Lastly, on the Druski skit, I got to round it off because at the very end,
right,
Druski took that off and said, talk to the white girls like, where y'all going? We trying to kick it. What's good? So let me ask you, what are your thoughts about the hypocrite Hebrew Israelite who will preach all that, say be right there by your side, be like, hell nah, black power.
Yeah.
And then when the cameras go away or when they're by themselves, they talk to Susan or Sally or Becky.
Yeah, our greatest slogan is we are not affiliated with no other Israelite group at all. Every video we play, it says that we are not affiliated because you have Israelites like that do exist. You have Israelites out there that believe you can sleep with white women. You have Israelites that say one thing and do another, and they are hypocrites. What I'm gonna say about the skit, though, that's old though. Like saying because I remember watching "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker" in the profile was with a white woman. Don't be a menace. So that's what I mean. Like he should have did something a little better. But I get why he did it because that's a known thing that they say they pro-black, but they really dealing with the white woman. So,
I think Druski really trying to holler at them females though. I ain't gonna lie.
He probably was. I mean, he probably don't have the rules that we have, but they are definitely hypocrites. They're a detriment to what we do. Like the Israelites that are not properly taught out there how to do this work, they are definitely a detriment to what we do.
All right. So let's go and get serious, man, for a second, man. Let's talk about the situation that's going on. Let's speak on the government shutdown. They say that the food stamps, the SNAP situation is not part of the government shutdown, which we'll circle back to that. But I do know that the government shutdown is affecting traffic control, air traffic control. I'm sorry. A lot of military aren't getting paid. A lot of banks are trying to step in and help those who are affected by the government shutdown to help them with paychecks. As far as this seems to be, I would say maybe a white man's problem because this is America at the end of the day.
Right.
What are your thoughts when you hear that the government shut down because the Democrats and Republicans can't come up to a decision about whatever bill or whatever they're trying to do? What is your thoughts on that? Does it even matter to you? I remember you said earlier with the Bishop Eli situation, you said you were excited about this time because this is